The name is Law Nation. Without hesitations nor deviations to the matter, be sure to hit that like button, share this content, let that friend, that neighbor know where to go when it's time to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk. And beyond. Yes. Cowboys, don't listen to the outside noise. Cowboys outside noise, final 4 games. Going into a must-win situation. Shout out to Hard Knocks, the Cowboys edition. Let's get it. Get down. They say ain't no party like a cowboy party, but what about a Law Nation's groove? To the window and to the wall. Come on, baby. 5, 4, 3, 2. Come on, baby. Run from it. Destiny.
Destiny arrives all the same.
And now, or shall I say, I am. Prepare. Hush your mouth over there. Hush it. Hush that mouth or that beak. What is your profession, Sadiq? What is your profession, Talking Cowboys? What is your profession, Steven? And what? Come on, baby. Come on. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. For those who tuning in for the very first time, I'm Law Nation. Without hesitations nor deviations to the matter, be sure to hit that like button, share this content, let that friend or that neighbor know, or that foe know where to go when it's time to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. The whole show, I can't talk. The whole show is brought to you by Sleeper. Jeez. And Frenkel personal injury lawyers. With that being said, right to the meat and potatoes of it, the Cowboys don't need to listen to the outside noise. They will lead you into the wrong directions. The last time we played was Thursday, right? Thursday, right? What today's date? Today's Wednesday. We done got a chance and an opportunity to see some college football. We got a chance and an opportunity to see some Sunday football, some Sunday night football, and Monday night football. And lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and frogs, they still talking about George Pickens. That's over 1,000 snaps. And they talking about Pickens, who, by the way, he wasn't the worst player that day. He wasn't the worst player that day. It had to be a guy named Jake in a Ferguson who had a worse performance in that particular game, by the way. And he gets no words of mentioning about his personality. And by the way, if y'all look up how much he's getting paid by on all of that, over $50 million. Not one word. But people continue to bring up George. George.
No, I think that Dallas is still in it. They've got their own issue over there playing wide receiver for them. So They need to address that. There's no way, by the way, just on a tangent, there is no way that I would pay George Pickens. I wish I could buy him for what he's worth and sell him for what he thinks he's worth. There is no way I would invest a dime into that guy going on beyond this season.
So why is that?
So why is that? Now, I know Stink, that's his name, by the way. Slareth, I think that's how you say it. We about to play a whole nother game. And he says, no way. And my captions is, ant can't tell bees how to make honey, basically. It's funny when the ants try to tell bees how to make honey.
At 17:58 game $5. Law, the only reason they're picking on Pickens is because of his history with the Steelers, plus he's an easy target.
Yeah. Yeah, he's an easy target. I know he's not going to bite the bait. The kid spoke very well. And if you guys saw the Cowboys collective yesterday or last night, basically, put CC in the chat, man. I love it. I want to see some CCs in the chat. Because I think the way John Machota broke it down, who's not a Cowboys fan, by the way, but I love his insights and I love his opinions on how everything is constructed. People fail to realize these are human beings. And he did get hit. I had to go back and rewatch. He did get hit, and he was a little woozy. I ain't talking about Cheeto woozy yet, but he was a woozy. He was woozy. So sometimes you may be thinking to yourself, and then the other player that's on the tape, see, Dangerous Lamb was laid out like Family Guy throwing up gang signs, right? So you think that got to be a part of the whole conversations on how you're going to perform. And got to contextualize the fact that 4 games in 17 days, that's a lot of football games, man, in those small time frames. I appreciate y'all. So y'all get what John Machota, CC, I see them CCs up in the Cowboys Collective. Hey, we need to get some hoodies to say CC with the star. That'd be dope. I'm going to run that by the people. CC with the star. Ooh, that'd be nice. What that CC stands for, Law? Cowboys Collective. Collectively speaking, by the way. Come on, join in over here.
That's thinking since he's been here in Dallas, everything we've heard is he's really been a good teammate and a good locker room guy for the most part.
Great. I saw him film his own slow motion movie on Thursday night. When he's not the target, when he's not involved, he's not interested. You can have that. You can't. You got to know the right guys, and sometimes you got to let go of really good guys because they're not the right guys.
Man, F the right guys, man. I'll never forget. It was T.O., and then it went from T.O., it went to Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley went to Dez Bryant, and the right kind of guys. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember the Garrett guys? Nice guys, finished last. F all of that, I want me a thug, man. You know what I'm saying? I know you getting bored chilling with them. I know you miss my thug and my thug. We need some thugs over here, baby. Hey, Law, I want a dog. I want a dog. I need a dog. I need a dog. I want a dog.
It's an evil world we live in.
And when you finally get the dog, hey, that dog bite. That dog, when you take him off the chain, man, that damn dog right there got teeth. Yes, you said you wanted the dog. Now we got a Cavapoo, a Shih Tzu. We got them smaller dogs you can go grit.
It was shocking how physical Detroit was and how soft we came out SMH.
Yeah. I need to be in control of the playlist, though. You know what I'm saying? I want my guy. Shout out to my guy from the 901 who always call in. But I need for us to listen to some different type of songs. You know what I'm saying? You got to be hard from the start. You got to have hard. You know, they need to listen to some 8-Ball MJJ. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Big, Mr. Big. They call me Mr. Big, not because of my size. You know, they need to listen to some Mr. Bigs, though, by the way. But we did come off a little soft, you know, and that was a thing, 1758. Appreciate you for sponsoring this show, by the way. Yeah. My thing is, I think when we listen to the game plan on Hard Knocks, they got a chance to put out some tape. Shout out to my guy Lando. He got it on Twitter or the X app, and he broke down some things, and I love the way he did that. But we don't care about character issues. We want to win. This is from Jack. Appreciate you. At some point, you need your rough edges. It's just like the cornbread, man. Give me the cornbread with the corners, man. Some people want to like the middle part. No, give me the edges, man. I like the edges. That's the best part is the crust. You need the crust sometime. On that apple pie, shoot. The crust is the best part, you know. On that pecan pie cobbler, you can't have a good peach cobbler without that crust all up in there, you know. So sometimes you need some of that substances. And what I'm saying is with George Pickens, I get it. But when Mark Soler, however you say that man's name, they call him Stink, let's listen back to what he said. He's like, sometimes you got to get rid of those guys. And I'm sitting here like, what is he talking? We done with the days of the James. Say it with me. Washington. Shout out to you, James Washington. You know, we done with the Jalen. Shout out to you, Jalen Tolbert. No offense to you. You know what I'm saying? You know, Jalen Tolbert is the kind of caliber of guy. If my daughters was a little bit older, I'd be saying, hey, date this type of guy. Right? You know? But those nice guys, that's cool. That's good. Rico said them burnt ends, law. Yeah, ooh. Tastes good, don't it? You know? But what I'm getting at is what he said is crazy to me.
Room guy for the most part.
Great. I saw him film his own slow motion movie on Thursday night. Like, I mean, when he's not the target, when he's not involved, he's not interested. You can have that. You can't. You got to know the right guys, and sometimes you got to let go of really good guys because
that nice hair just got here. Sometimes you got to let go of really good guys. For what? For us to go back. Show of hands, who would prefer to have a Noah Brown, you know what I'm saying, who give you splashes maybe once every 7 games, right? Would you rather have a Noah Brown, you know, a Tolbert? Remember days like this, we had Jalen Brooks. You know, come on, look. Give me Pickens over Jalen Brooks. A Noah Brown and them. And to a point, and even though he's my dog, Cedric Wilson, he's my guy. You know, shout out to him. Follow the channel. Shout out to him and his trainer and all of this stuff. But still give me George Pickens. That's like hey, I can't deal with it, man. She snores when she sleeps. Let me get the divorce. You know, you don't do that, you know, especially if she's a 10. You deal with the snores. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't help that you put her to bed like that, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Beasley says, yeah. Or Cole Beasley. Shout out to Cole Beasley. But stink is stinking.
They're not the right guys. And I wouldn't invest 2 cents in that guy. No, I think that Dallas.
That boy said 2 cents. I'm glad he's not our GM, man. I'm so glad. Come on, man. Yes, indeed. It's crazy. It's crazy. You need these kind of caliber of players to help get you to one point to another. Now, here's was the thing, whereas one of the most aggressive wide receivers I ever seen in my lifetime. And back in the days, he was still good even in Madden, you know, if you played John Madden in them. And I think he was phenomenal. I always wanted him on my team. I wanted him on our side. I thought that we would have had a chance at it, but we didn't get a chance to get him. And he was a tone setter. He was an elixir. He didn't back down. He didn't take bull sugar. And his name is Steve Smith, y'all. And not an A in his name, not Stephen A. Smith. His name is Steve Smith. I value his opinion, you know. In Steve Smith Sr., he broke down the fact that, yeah, I listened to the outside noise of Pickens, and he brought something to the light that it was the fact that the two people that made the most noise about Pickens' route running was DBs. And shout out to Action Powell for sending me this clip, and it brought attention to me of like, yeah, you know what? I love this point of view. So I love Steve Smith, man. I think that what was missing through the course of the Cowboys time frame, like we all know, Michael Irvin was him. You know, he's that dog, right? But we went from Michael Irvin, and it was a long spell of no other wide receivers. T.O. was T.O. He was a different world. But when we got Dez was that dog. T.O. was a dog too, but his bark was so damn loud that when he barked at Tony, it was a trail of urine, right? Tony Romo was like, hey, 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 hey. And then T.O. was like, and then Tony would have a trail of urine. So in order for Tony to excel, they had to get rid of the dog. I get that part of it because Terrell Owens was him. But then when we had Dez Bryant was that dog, right? But he had to be groomed to a degree. And then the craziest part of it all, once the Cowboys finally learned how to utilize and use Dez Bryant, if you really think about it, he had only, believe it or not, 2 solid years with Tony Romo, but that's a whole nother conversation. If you really look at it, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to Dez Bryant. He's still mad at me to this day. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dez Bryant. I ain't going into the conversation. But he was a dog, you know. And now we transferring to this time of the year. I like CeeDee Lamb, but he's not that type of dog. He's a dog, but he ain't that type of dog. Pickens is that dog. They're going to walk and talk and piss on your yard and tell you to say, hey, what you going to do about it? And take a dump on your yard and say, hey, you pick it up. I'm not going to pick it up. Y'all saw what he did to Lattimore and all of them boys. It's clips of him going back and forth. We didn't have that here. Nobody spoke with that type or kind of caliber of an authority. Roy Williams tried to bully Dez, and that never worked out. Yeah, you're right. Right? But neither here nor there. Let's listen to this because he's a bona fide dog. He's a dog.
I've heard a lot of things that's being said. George Pickens was loafing. He looked disinterested. Now, I respect the guys who have made their statements because I've been in this media game for a little bit. So what did I do? I went back and went and watched the game. And I just watched George Pickens plays. I watched him on run games very heavily.
Hey, who caught that hat that he got on, man? Oh, my gosh, man, that hat. Can y'all see that hat? Y'all, when you see it, just put it in the comment box, man, you know?
Involved, came down, tried to crack the safety several times.
That's a dope hat,
Play
though.
7. Ball was thrown into coverage. Heavy coverage. And George Pickens goes up for the ball in traffic. If a guy is disinterested, I'm telling you, he's not doing that.
Brian Schottenheimer had a problem with it. Doesn't seem like Jerry Jones. He came out publicly and said he didn't have a problem with it. So I think they know where they stand with their receivers. So
Well, you know why they didn't have a problem with it? Because they know he wasn't loafing, and they know he wasn't disinterested. That's why.
That's 89 for your mind, man. And I like the fact that he stood tall. Now, you guys can check out their full podcast, and they go into more details of everything, and he breaks it down into another whole another level, right? And what I'm saying is, you're going to have some bad games. Not everything going to be peaches and cream. Not everything is going to be peaches and cream.
At actualfactual_reek talk $5. Law they tripping Pickens always run his route like that. They need to stop the BS.
They do. They need to stop all of that actual factual, man. So did you see Sherman responding to Pickens' podcast? I don't know if I got that footage. I think I saw something here. I don't know if this is it. Let me know.
All saw your back and forth with GP last week.
What back and
So you
forth?
would.
I just saw what I saw on the tape. The tape is going to say what it need to say. And that was the deal. If you can't take what the tape say, then put something better on tape.
What's the mantra? The eye in the sky don't lie.
Hey, wait a minute. Is that Patrick Surtain? Is that Surtain Jr.? He got a full live podcast, boy.
It don't. And don't. I was using the eye in the sky to be the voice of the eye.
Uh-huh.
If you want to be the guy, and I think he's the guy, I think he could be the best receiver in the league. Obviously, JSN is the guy right now. Then you can't really take no plays off. Big time players don't give a damn about no bracket.
That's bullsugar. JSN is a damn good wide receiver. By the way, he's a Cowboy fan. And if we had a chance and an opportunity, boy, we would have had him too. But he's the focal point of that offense. That's why his numbers are gaudy. And they slide him all around, and he is in a good system. I think that they are class personified over there in Seattle land. I like what he's able to do. So, yes, when you have one entity versus two, then there's no splitting of reps, snaps, and a focus of an attention and game plan. But when Pickens had that 3 or 4 game stretch when he was the focal point, pull up those numbers, y'all. Just pull up those numbers. But we got to understand that we got another dog. If you put CD Lamb on the damn Seattle Seahawks, JSN numbers won't be like that. It won't be like, he'll still be good. He'll still be outstanding. But the numbers are going to be spliced because now you got someone else with the attention that need the ball, that need to get some reps and all of this stuff. But you can't name me the other wide receivers over there in Seattle land. I'm just saying. But we got 3 guys now. We found the 3rd guy named Ron Flournoy, that ball got to be spread it around. And then on top of that, believe it or not, we got this play caller that we're going to go into details of. But people, you can't look at numbers and stats as it relates to all being in one vacuum that, hey, this is what they are. Just like Eagles fans right now. Hurts, man, he's number 1 quarterback in the National Football League. You can't find an Eagle fan that would think otherwise, right? I recall there were like a third of the Eagle fan base saying, man, give me Hurts over Burrows. Give me Hurts over Allen. Give me Hurts over Dak. Give me Hurts over, what's the smooth name over there? Lamar Jackson. And I'm sitting here telling them, man, y'all out y'all cotton picking mine. Y'all don't watch the same tape? Man, nah, Hurts, all he do is win. Nah, naysayer, he's on a team. That got, quote unquote, in the last 3 seasons, or the last 2 seasons, a top 5 defense. They got weapons. They got A.J. Brown and Smitty. But if you put him in a vacuum by himself, if he looked that bad with A.J. Brown and Smitty, what you think he would look like with just one wide receiver or with none of those boys that's class personified? Kupp is good, but Kupp is beyond his time frame. I appreciate you, T-Jack, for that correction, though. Kupp is nice. Yeah. Cooper Kupp is nice. He's nice. But let's be real, man. The sun is set on his time frame, though. You know? You get what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to bring up the Philadelphia Eagles for that matter as it relates to us talking about people when you're looking at and evaluating players. But what I'm saying is that you can't put it all in one vacuum.
They don't. Yeah. They don't. Bracket, ball coming. Double team, ball coming. Cloud, ball coming.
What you were saying is, as far as games like that, when your team needs you, you have all the intangibles to go out there and make those plays.
They want to pay you $40 million. Mm-hmm. That's what they want to do.
Man, Cowboys don't want to pay nobody $40 million, man. Come on, man. They franchise tagged the quarterback when it was time to pay him $40 million, right? And then they franchise him a time again when it's time to pay him $60. They took my guy, number of Baltimore, I think that's what my guy Sky called him, took him to the woodshed. So what do you think they're gonna do about an outsider? So it's not like they like I'm not saying that Pickens is not worth $40 million. But he's worth some money. And he's gonna be here.
They want to say, hey, George Pickens, the most talented receiver in the National Football League, best guy, top paid. But when the game's on the line, you lost the highest paid receiver. CeeDee Lamb goes out. CeeDee Lamb was balling in that game. He was eating. And then when he goes out, you say, okay, y'all still got to deal with George Pickens. Like, he about to go eat. Flournoy was going to get his. And some would say, oh, George is pulling all attention, so he can't get it. I'm like, when they ran that 7 pump on DJ, I said, uh-oh. I was on the field. I was standing right there on the field. DJ was chilling. And once he got that leverage, you know, when you chilling and he hit that well, both of y'all really know. When he hit that gear and you ain't in that gear, and you're like,
He allow you to sleep, boom, break the other way. Now you got to get them horses running, boy.
Now you got to get them horses running. And Dak put it up. I said, uh-oh, this is it. He about to scoop it, and these boys back in the game. And the ball, when the ball landed like right by his foot, I was like, all right now. All right. You playing a dangerous game now, because if we didn't have such high standards for him, then it wouldn't have mattered. We'd have just looked at it like, oh man, nobody could have made that play. Like, oh.
All I can say is 2 things can be true. But go back and listen to what George Pickens had to say post game. I get it. Yeah, we hold these guys to high standards, and we should hold these guys to high standard. But you can't name me one wide receiver in the National Football League that didn't throw a fit, that didn't do things that, hey, you said, hey, what was that? Can't name me one. The greatest wide receiver, according to NFL history, cheated. Look it up. His name is Jerry Rice. He cheated because of so much pressure and so many times that he was dropping the ball. He put what we call stick'ems up on his hands and his gloves. True story. That's why I still say to this day, man, Michael Irvin probably would have been the greatest wide receiver of all time. Of all time, if he never got hooked up on that other stuff. I'm not fit to say, shout out to Unc. I hope you're not watching this part right here. Yeah. That Michael Irvin will party up all night. It'd be 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning. You know, he go to bed at 6 and wake up early at 8. Yes, indeed. He'll go party and then come back 3 receptions for 112 yards. Man, come on, man. Stick 'em gloves. Come on with it. Cowboy Nation. Receivers do have off days and off weeks and sometimes off months. Oh, allegedly. Yeah. Allegedly, I forgot to put allegedly up there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, alleged, man. Michael Irvin, allegedly. But Jerry Rice, factually, you know, to this day, I think he got the wide receiver record, and I think it happened when they was only playing. I think they had the lockout year, what have you. He got the wide receiver record. I think nobody broken it, and he did it in 12 games or something like that, 13 games. He did it in a small sample size of games. Nobody. I think Jerry Rice had 22 touchdowns, 1,900 yards or something like that. Crazy number, man, in the 80s. Lost City says, here goes the lawsuit. But I put allegedly on there, and then I labeled my channel as entertainment purposes only. It is satire, so I'm not labeled under factual content over here. This is satire. By the way, I got to say all of that since y'all putting it out there like that, because people will take this and run it to their lawyers. Yes, indeed.
Oh, it was bad ball. He was double teamed. But you almost can't have it both ways. You can't say, hey, I think he's the best player in the league, and then be like, oh, he couldn't have got that. It's because he's double teamed. Like, yeah, it's what it is.
Man, get out of here, man. He's scrambling and scraping, man, Richard Sherman. Because you notice, he said what he said about that we saw the 49ers, Richard Sherman. Well, yeah, we saw the 49ers, Richard Sherman. Appreciate you so much, Sadiq Charles, gifting 5 members gold level 2. Sheesh. Shout out to you, DP. Shout out to you, TA Cowboy. Shout out to you, Sanjay. Shout out to you, CeeLos. And Sir Kilo. Appreciate you. Dirty South. Shout out to you, Mississippi.
Blue Magic. Are you sure? It's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it. About is when you chop my dope down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5%, and then you call it Blue Magic.
I want to get at this, and I haven't vetted it yet to see whether or not I can play it. But I'm gonna take a leap of. I'll take a quick leap on it, and I'm gonna play it because context matter, right? This states here. Lando says the fact that Shadi has to even say this is funny to me. I get the ultimate team sport. And let me pull this up so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. He says, I get it's the ultimate team sport, but who else are funneling the ball in the game to this magnitude? He said, hey, Shem, who is Steve Simcoe, let's just run plays to get the ball to 3 and 88 right now, okay? Those are our guys, right? And this is what he said. Hi.
Between Pickens and Lamb, they don't have some hope. If they ain't learn, don't leave me one-on-one, boy. You crazy as fuck. Hey, Shem. Hey, yeah, I think plays for 88 and 3. It's just hunked over right now. You know what I'm saying?
Did y'all hear that?
Those are our guys.
So he said, hey, Shem, is there a possibility that we can get the ball to 3 and 88? So now it opens up different dimensions in my mind, because I do know that Shem is the passing game coordinator, and it could be that there are a row of plays that Steve Simcoe might know that he need to put in the Rolodex of plays, right? But on the flip side of it, we got also Clayton Adams, who facilitate and help out on plays. And then we do have Schottenheimer. Now, I never called plays in the National Football League, but I'm quite sure that this could be the situation and scenario. This is what we need to do as far as this situation and scenario. delegations. There was a time, I'm old enough to remember, Mike McCarthy stated this to Kellen Moore, that if you install the plays, you call the plays. And you install them, you call them, right? So by that being said, there could be a situation and scenario that Steve Simcoe and Clayton Adams and Schottenheimer, because you got a lot of hats, that they have a trough of plays that they go over, and they got to pick the best plays for the best down and out distance, the best plays that they scouted up against, and these sorts of things. Because what we ultimately can't do is sit back on 1 week, praise Clayton Adams about the play design that he dialed up for Malik Davis, and then the next week we take away that because Steve Simcoe is not getting the ball to 3 and 88. It's a complete game plan, in my opinion. So what I'm getting at is that Shotty, at least we can see a team that's being formulated. At least we can really look back at things and say, these guys are working together. This is D. Henry, 4141. Law, not worried. Eagles are going to fall. DJ from the 607. Appreciate you, DJ. Shout out to you, my guy. You didn't call in the last few days. I hope all is well with you. But people fail to realize, delegation is a part and a form of leadership. Let me say this again. Delegation is a part and a form of leadership. To be able to delegate duties is one of the things that you have to know. And even when you go into business law, and you take those courses, and if you graduated from business school, they would tell you management and leadership is getting work done through others. So we are seeing that from Schottenheimer. And what Hard Knocks is doing is giving us a Costco sample size of his leadership and his way of coaching. So by him saying, yeah, man, I get it. I have these role plays, but go get the sweet ones, man. So we got to get the ball to 3 and 88. Those are our guys. In which he means that running that rock right now ain't working. We getting 2.5 yards per tote. Barely getting 3 yards. We scrambling and scraping. So I will give Shotty that. On the other side, Cowboy Nation, I will give this wording here. Good for us to talk about. Give me 1 second here, Cowboys. I'm going to bring this up. Pull up this. And we're going to pull up Schottenheimer talking to the troops about this. Let's listen to it, Cowboy Nation.
Hey, look, in this league, man, you have to take the bad with the good, right? And I think when we watch this film, guys, I don't think that we did a very good job with it. I know we're -3, right? Again, gave up a bunch of sacks, didn't get home a lot. We have to learn to beat a good football team in their house. Everybody feel me on that?
Yes, sir.
Can we do that?
Yes, sir.
Fuck yeah, we can. But we got to do it with the right formula. There's still a lot of football left. Everybody wants to write us the fuck off? Let them. We keep playing one game at a time. Hey, look.
He's saying, man, you know, everybody trying to write us off. Everybody trying to count us out of here. But that ain't how we gonna roll with this. My leadership goes beyond this particular realm of where we at right now from a record aspect of it. My leadership is more potent than that particular thing that you think what you're seeing. And I do like the way he's articulating himself with his wordplay. I do like that, Cowboy Nation. I don't want you guys to sleep on it. But if you do, sleep on this.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today, get up to $100 credit using the code LAW. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
Call your shot, download Sleeper, put $100 in there. They'll match it all the way up to 100%. And when you do that, use promo code LAW. Sleeper will throw you $20. That's a lot of money now. $20 is a lot of money. Shoot, don't you know how much a carton of eggs are? Shoot, and some milk. Boy, shoot, they're giving that money to you. So be sure to utilize and use Sleeper promo code LAW and go ahead and get busy on making some more coins with the nation. Appreciate you. Download Sleeper and use that promo code Cowboy Nation and everyone that's listening. Some people says, Dramatic says, love Shotty, man. Come on with it. Sadiqa Charles, yes, appreciate you. Dirty South, appreciate you. Let Shotty pick his DC. Oh, my God. Hell yeah, let him pick his own DC. I don't think he picked the whole smooth over there. Matt Eberflus, they're night and day from each other. Sadiq Charles gifting 5 more members. Shout out to, I think, Frito. Appreciate you. Shout out to you, PG in the building. Shout out to you with the super gift or what have you. And Josh Sanders, appreciate you, man.
Got nothing but love for you, baby. I got nothing
also,
but love for you, baby.
For those who wanting to know, and shout out to your Dak Owens. Baby. And remember, shout out to Sadiqa Charles. Sadiqa Claus. Sadiqa Claus. I like that one, Dramatic. Sadiqa Claus, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right, so, and ain't nothing wrong with giving. Yeah. But this is the clip that I really like because he was talking about December to remember. You know what I'm saying? And let's bring up this December.
Side of the magic of this football team, okay? It's about our competitive spirit, but really it's about that, the love for one another. Now, let's talk about this, okay? December football is the best because the good teams become what? Great fucking teams. Some teams starting to do what in December?
And kids, close your ears, man, and close your eyes, too, if necessary.
Change. Oh, shit, it's December football. Fuck that. We play free. Never lose sight of the magic of this football team.
I'm going to use that as a drop one day. Never lose sight of the magic of this football team. And the way he was able to command that room, them cuss words were natural. You know, it wasn't forced like Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett was saying cuss words that didn't even go together, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Jason Garrett, Jason Garrett putting cuss words together, man. We were sitting there like, wait a minute, they don't even sound right, Jason. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to put the mother in front of the effer, you know. Effing mother, you know. I'm like, Jason Garrett, what's going on, man? You know, I never heard nobody cuss proper until I heard Jason Garrett curse, you know. But Shotty, it looked like he had a few shots in that situation, you know. Yeah, yes, indeed. And from what I can tell y'all, that I do like the aspect of that, not saying that just because he talking in that particular tone that things would change all of a sudden. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, so, yeah, how y'all feeling about Schottenheimer? How y'all feel about that? You know what I'm saying? How y'all feel about that? You know what I'm saying? Was 87 listening? Hold on, see. Let me see if I can find this, man, this clip. Oh, let me see if I can find it. I think I found it, y'all. Hold on.
I find a lot of that racial stuff like fascinating.
Yeah, I found it. Hold on.
You know, like the different rules of like who gets in trouble, who doesn't. Like I've noticed black people have the genius to put the curse word after they say the race of the person. Where white dudes, we always put it in front. And if we would just make that little adjustment, we could save so many careers, so many jobs. could be saved in the white community if we would just put it
Listen to this guy.
You never notice that in conversation here, Black Evie? You're like, man, I was standing there, this Asian motherfucker came in, he starts talking about, you don't even hear it. You're just sitting there, oh, what did this Asian motherfucker do? I would love to hear the rest of this story, right? Dude, I would tell the exact same story, right? I'm standing there, right? This fucking Asian comes in, right? Everybody's like, whoa, hey, easy. You know? It's like, dude, I just said what he said. I just preempted the fuck. That's all I find a lot of that.
That dude is beyond funny to me, man. Bill Burr, man, he's so funny, man. Check out his comedy series, man. It's just how you gotta put the words, man, to Jason Garrett. Oh my God, Jason Garrett. Jason, you wasn't putting the words and context and the clues together, man. Bill Burr's a trip. Yes, indeed, man. He's a flat out trip, bro. With that being said, we got a chance to see Dak Prescott with the not Pooh Shiesty mask on, but I guess we can call it the George Shiesty or the Pickens Shiesty, because Pickens got everybody wearing those Shiesty masks. Yes, indeed. If it wasn't for them playing the Kirk Franklin song in there, I would be able to play it. But it is for what it is. Shout out to Dak Prescott and getting a little human element to it. And I know, I get it. You know, some people are like, man, believe it or not, man, that's the first time I saw Dak Prescott as a Tyrone, man. They all in the comments saying, like, I ain't know this version of Dak Prescott. You know, I'm used to the she's my cherry pie Dak Prescott. I ain't used to this one. That's the Tyrone version of Dak Prescott. So shout out to Dak Prescott. Yes, indeed. Bitches of sons, Jason Garrett. Oh my God. You got to put the sons in front of the. Yeah, man, they're too wild right there, man. Too wild, man. Boy. All right, so before we go into this, man, not to beat him up, but I got to beat him up just for a slither of seconds here, and this is their thoughts on this.
Out there, if for nothing else, to decide, is he good enough that you could have him as your guy next year, or do you need to go find an entirely different linebacker?
Do you think the general manager is asking for this, or do you think the coaching staff is going to make this switch?
I don't know. That's one of those many things where I don't like how the Cowboys decision-making process flows, and I can't tell. Is it, hey, we traded for this guy and he's making $7 million, so we need to see him on the field? Or is this Eberflus saying, I came here, he's my guy, I want him, I'm in charge of who's playing? Is this another spot where Schotty needs to go talk to the coaches?
See, that's what.
Nah, let me get in front of this. If you get paid in Dallas, you're going to get out there on the field. There's only a small sample sizes of guys who got paid and they put them on the pine. You know, shout out to my guy, Duke. If you from Dallas, you know, y'all ever seen that guy on Instagram? If you from Dallas and you get paid, you're going to be out there on the field. They're going to figure out a way to straggle you to get you out there on the field. And that's what we're saying. And I'm not beating up Kenneth Murray. I think that for what it is worth, we all was like, hey, man, sometime a change of scenery. We've seen this happen over here in Cowboys land, that you get to a new spot and a new space, and then all of a sudden you playing better. But at this point, Lord.
I'm saying, I think that maybe the front office went to Schotty and said, listen, we're watching the tape here. You know, we're kind of the eye test is showing us something here.
Yeah.
Not that it's all of Kenneth Murray's fault. You could go back.
It's not
and
all
watch
his fault too, though. By the way,
the game against the Lions where there were some really bad run fits. Mm-hmm. I mean, guys like, okay, wait a minute, why is Oso Digizua going all the way down, all the way from B gap, all the way inside A gap? And you're thinking, well, wait a minute, where's the player behind him? Where's the, there was. I don't think Overshown, going back and really studying it, I don't think that guys like the Overshown and Murray's and those guys, some of the fits, I think Overshown got trapped a couple of times. I know the pass where Houston was up the field and he fell, that was overshown, trying to get over the top. That's his guy. So there's things about this whole thing, but I just wonder if the general manager said to the head coach, listen, we need to see Logan Wilson more.
Well,
yeah, I mean, at this point, you got to figure it out. We got 4 games to go. Good news.
At Regina Green, $427.05. Shotty could get it done, but I'm not sure if it would be in Doc's timeline. Eberfluss and Jerry not helping.
Are you the Oracle, Regina Green? And I feel exactly what you're saying. The way that Schottenheimer is articulating his words, the way that Jerry and Steven talk well of him, I forgot to crop. I think I did, but if I could, I'm gonna try to go back and find it. But Regina's saying could he get done in Dak's timeline? You will either have to get it done this season, next season. I think a year from now. After next season, I think that the Cowboys going to start formulating ways to, and I know people don't want to hear this, but they're going to have to start formulating ways to his business, man. You know what I'm saying? To get things moving and grooving. They're going to have to formulate something. Because his contract is going to be up again. And he already getting 70. I think he's going to count against the cap, not to count the money. 70-something million. You're going to have to restructure, spread that money out, push it down the line. I think that what the Cowboys should have done, I can't say that either, because we didn't foresee Schottenheimer being this good as an authoritative and articulations of his words and all of that stuff type of leader. But if I could have a timeline, I would love, and I shout out to Mike McCarthy. Damn it, Mike McCarthy. All you had to do is we had all 3 of these guys in the same room at one time. We had Dan Quinn here. We had Schottenheimer here. And we had Mike McCarthy. I think the cog that was in there is Kellen Moore, right? And I know he got a Super Bowl and all of this stuff. But if you can go back into time, you just whisper in Mike McCarthy's ear and say, hey, I get that you want to be the play caller. You want to do X, Y, and Z. Give Schottenheimer full range to call all of the plays, do all the things that he need to do as an offensive coordinator. You just delegate some things, and then if the Cowboys are wise and smart, they let Dan Quinn get the pieces that he need. It's not that Dan Quinn is a terrible coach, by the way. He just didn't have the pieces. He didn't have a Quentin Williams. He didn't have a Kenny Clark. He had a Mozzie that he was trying to fit in there, and they didn't go out there and get a real linebacker. We had 2 pieces away during the Dan Quinn administration. 2 pieces. A linebacker and a fat boy. And I ain't talking about Jonathan Hankins. Shout out to him. But match Jonathan Hankins up with a Quentin type of Williams type of kid. Now we're cooking. But we were literally, because y'all can't sit back and say that Dan Quinn, we call him, I didn't say that I hated Dan Quinn, but I saw it for what it was. Self-preservation is a real thing. Either you're going to preserve yourself and save yourself, or you're going to go down with the ship, man. Quinn was like, shoot, I'm finna get on up out of here, man. I'm finna save myself. But at some point of time, we had all of the ingredients right here. We just didn't have the front office to see it. And, of course, I could throw in a wide receiver away, too, though, by the way, on the offensive side. Even though Dak was dealing 12-5, and people were so busy fighting each other, just like they fighting to a smaller, it was a similar degree. How many wasteful comments that we had that Cooper Rush better than Dak type of conversations that was going on when people failed to realize how bland and how terrible this offense was as far as play calling. We had all the things that we needed. Just wrong instructions. We tried to put it together without reading the instructions. And then people look down, what's all of them extra screws for? Hankins retired now. I think he's out of Seattle. I think they cut him or released him or something like that, I heard. But shout out to Hankins. No offense to Hankins. Yeah. And Seattle balling right now with that damn defensive guy that we had over here that was speaking Britain or whatever he was from across the pond. I forgot his name, Durday or something like that. So it's just for what it is. We went against the grain on that.
Is that a suggestion, or did Schotty go to Flus and say, hey, we've got to do something different at that Mike linebacker?
I'm hoping it's option B because you know how optimistic I've been about Schotty. Love the guy.
Yeah.
If he has anything to do with this, the only other thing that could save it for me would be if they just believe Logan Wilson is that much better, and that's possible.
Man, we hoping. I mean, I went over everything, and I said to myself, I said, man, if we can just get a linebacker that's average right now, I'd take him, you know. I'll take an average linebacker right now, not a way below average linebacker. And that's who Murray is, and no shade at him. No shade at him.
I don't know, and it's not even just the Detroit game. I don't know how you can't watch what's happened with Kenneth Murray this year and pretend to talk yourself into we don't need to give somebody else a chance to see if they can be better.
Need to see.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find this clip right quick. By the way, appreciate y'all so much for tuning in to the nation. Okay, here it is right here. My guy Joe Tran. He states, you can't call this a successful season for Schottenheimer if the Cowboys don't make the playoffs. Is that true or false? Now, success, in my opinion, is very subjective. We would not be satisfied even if we do go to the playoff and be one and done. We would not be satisfied. People would say it feel good for a moment. You get to the NFC Championship game. We'll be satisfied to a degree, but we'll still be pointing fingers and blaming. We would not be satisfied. I don't know if a Cowboy fan would be satisfied to go to the Super Bowl to ultimately lose. I wouldn't want that feeling. I seen how Twin was laid out like Family Guy, just laid out, man. You thought I fell out this chair when I had too much to drink. Twin was laid out like, oh, Lord, when them 49ers. And I was happy as all get out. I said, yes, hey, Twin, you okay? You okay? So I don't get it, of us being labeled as a success or not. The ultimate success would be to win the Super Bowl. It's Super Bowl or bust with the Cowboys. We don't want no feel-good stories. Collectively speaking. That's why I say success is subjective. Imagine somebody telling the guy that created Facebook, I think he dropped out of college or something like that, or high school, saying, hey, man, you didn't finish high school. You're not a successful person. Shoot. And he'd count his money. Can you imagine somebody telling Oprah she's not successful because she didn't finish college or something like that? Or what's it, Kanye West? He was a college dropout. And can you imagine somebody saying, hey, man, you're not successful? That's bullshit. But it's subjective, though.
If they don't win out in these last 4 games, I don't think you can call it a successful season for Schottenheimer. Is anyone going to call for his job? No. Front office did him a solid getting Quinn and Williams, giving them an opportunity. I do believe the front office put them behind the 8 ball with the way the season was set up. Even with all of that, they put them in a position to where they could make a run. They've begun to make that run. They stumble mightily and to me showed a lack of sense of urgency against the Lions. And if they don't win out, they don't make the playoffs, they didn't make good on some of those opportunities.
Now, I said all of that to say that I disagree with him because my levels of success with Schottenheimer, the expectations for a rookie head coach to win the ultimate big dance has never been happening. I think in the last 60 years, a rookie coach never won the Super Bowl, by the way. Never. In the last 50 to 60 years. So some success, to that same point, the Kansas City Chiefs, as successful that they are, they haven't beaten Dallas in Dallas. If you're from Dallas, they haven't beaten Dallas in Dallas in the last 5 tries. And I think the record is like 50 years they haven't won in Dallas. But they're still a successful team. Pat Mahomes is still a successful player. He got 3 Super Bowl rings. He lost 2 Super Bowls, won 3. It's crazy. Lions are a great team. They are. And that's what happens. A team that's better prepared sometimes have a better chance and opportunity. And sometimes those things hit you in different forms and formats. Just like anything that can happen in Dallas. And if you're moving around in Dallas and something happened to you, slip and fall at work, you got to do this.
It starts from the first phone call. Most of the time, you're going to talk to Gene Burkett, a 30-year partner. You're not going to talk to some employee that just got put on the phones that day.
There are things that are so crucial, especially if it's a cataclysmic event, to have our experts get out and look at the vehicle, witness statements, photos, the whole thing.
Call Frenkel first.
Chosen by the people, feared by the insurance companies. Call Frenkel first.
Be sure to reach out to our proud partners, Frenkel and Frenkel Personal Injury Lawyers, backed by over 100 years of combined experiences. They're located here in the heart of Dallas. Without hesitations nor deviation to the matter, ladies and gentlemen, if you slip and fall at work, injured on the job, something like that, be sure to reach out to our proud partners. Dial that number 817 and all 3s that you can dial. I'm seeing participation is low, so therefore we're going to go. Appreciate each and every last one of you all. Thank y'all for the support. Just like Jim Rowan said, when the end comes for me, let it find me conquering a new mountain, not sliding down an old one. Continue to formulate your mind to it and get things moving and grooving in the best way possible. But be sure to understand the cost that is involved. Appreciate each and every last one of you all. Thank y'all for tuning in to the nation. Shout out to DP, TA, Sanjay, Silos, Kilo, Dak Holmes, Lil Don, Sanders. Y'all should have been hitting that like button. Y'all didn't hit that like button. You didn't share this content. We got to go. Can't do 3-4 hour shows and you're not hitting the like button. You're not sharing the content. So we'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Let's go. DC for life, not for short, baby. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours.